morning. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. We are so happy that you are here. This is a place where we gather together each week to connect, partner, and profit. And we're going to start around the room and give you just about 30 seconds to introduce yourself. And then we're going to get into some deep discussion here in just a little bit. So I'm going to start with our guest, JP. I was thrilled to death to meet him a couple of weeks ago. He's actually one of my new ambassadors, and we'll be talking about that program also, because now I have 4 weeks worth of data that I can share with you. So I'm really excited about that. And JP comes with us. He's got some really excellent skill sets. So go ahead, JP, give them a little background on you.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, it's a pleasure being invited here with you guys, and I'm as much as excited to learn more about what you guys got to offer and how the system works. But basically, I am a freelancer and I do a lot of social media activities, but my forte would be in terms of video marketing ads. So I do have some clienteles in the western part as well as in Australia. But basically, majority, my bread and butter is in the local market itself.
Well, we're so glad that you joined us today. Jessica, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can get that out of the way for you.
I am Jessica Koch, and like I said, I love this group. It's been fantastic, and I do sales and marketing consulting and LinkedIn and social media training, and I have a virtual assistant membership program. So our big news is we launched our course. We finally got it up, and so that's been moving along and exciting. So that's me. Thank you.
Fantastic. Do you have a link or something that you can drop in there for us?
Well, I want to let the co-op become a affiliate. I give 40% of the sale to my affiliates. So I thought it would be good as we pull together to make money together that the co-op had a link before I shared it. So let's talk about getting you a link for that.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Marcia, come on down.
So great to be here. My name's Marsha LaCour, and I love to be in the field of health and wellness, especially working with entrepreneurs like you to stop the cravings so that you can keep the weight off, feel energized, and reduce stress and feel relaxed. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Barry, Mellow Man.
Yeah, and excuse the cough. Great to see you back, Nancy. So virtually every household like yours is for more effective and safe health, wellness, cleaning, and beauty products. I am your wellness ambassador, Melaleuca. We're North America's #1 online wellness shopping club. We manufacture over 400 products in the USA. We're the original green and essential oils company, so you can stop looking and just switch stores. Just put Meloman in the chat. I'd love to schedule a virtual tour with you. This month, you get a full year's membership for only $1. You still get $100 worth of free products in your first 5 months. I am #the Meloman.
Fantastic. Kelly.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Good to see you all. Welcome, Joseph. I'd like to know where you're from, Joseph. Anyway, so I am the Epic Tax Relief Coach. I have uncovered 2 distinct remedies to the income tax for Americans in the United States income tax system. And I love getting to bless people with liberation from the IRS and their state taxing board if they live in a state that has a state tax. So I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I had a little chance to look at my records yesterday, and my business has grown over 850% over last year, and the year is not over. Things are going great, and it's really fun to share. So that's it for me.
Fantastic, Kelly. That is awesome. Awesome, yeah. Awesome, awesome. Man, wow. All right, Balbir, come on down.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. Sorry, I have been MIA things have been a little bit hectic. So my name is Belle Beer. I'm with a company called Legal Shield and ID Shield, and I help people through potentially tough times in their personal life as well as in their business by having the membership services for to access the law firm, as well as identity theft, monitoring and restoration should you need it. Legal Shield, helping you live more and worry less. And if you'd like more information, just put #legal into the chat bar. Thank you.
Thank you. Great to see you. Claudio.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. So just follow what I do. Show me the money, show me the money, show me the money. I'm here to show you the money. I have great opportunities in passive income, requiring little to no effort. I actually have a couple of opportunities now. One that I just came into. It is available in Canada and the US. So if anybody would like to learn more, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to share it with you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Melissa, are you available?
I am. And I want to ask you all, have you just all spent a little bit too much time worrying this year about getting a certain illness? Are you concerned your immune system might not be strong enough to handle it? Well, I'm running 2 free workshops, December 1st, December 3rd. Pick the one that works for you to teach you how to boost your immune system, because it's like a muscle and we must strengthen it. But you might have some daily habits that are weakening it that you don't even realize. So 1 hour of your time for a lifetime of strengthened immune system. What's that worth? Priceless, right? I'll drop the link in the chat so you can register and block the time in your calendar. I'm an integrative health practitioner coming to you from Whistler, British Columbia. Thank you.
Thank you. JP, you want to answer her question and let her know, Kelly and the rest of us, where you're calling in from today?
Yeah. I'm from the Philippines, Manila, Philippines.
All right. Thank you. Last week, and it seems like I missed a couple of birthdays. I believe Laura had a birthday. Bruce had a birthday. Did anybody else have a birthday that I have missed in November? Well, I have one coming up on Wednesday, and what is hilarious is I was off on how old I'm going to be. And when I went home, I got my girlfriend a cake and I put the wrong number on there and she about stroked out. Those numbers don't get me upset, but evidently it sure did her. And she just thought that I was so crazy and I had to argue, and, you know, no big deal. Got that accounting degree in finance, but I guess I can't add. So I'm actually going to be a year younger than what I thought. So that was pretty funny. So anybody else that you know of that's popped on your feed that I need to know that has a birthday this month? Can you think of anybody? All right, let's make sure that we get those out. For the month of November, what I would like for us to do is focus on testimonials and recommendations. For us in the United States, it is Thanksgiving. So we want to be thankful. And I know Canada has already had their Thanksgiving, but we want to be thankful for all of our connections and excuse me, all of the business and friendships that we have built over the last year. And as I was contemplating on what we can do this month for that, I thought, well, let's focus on testimonials and recommendations. So wherever you feel the most comfortable, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or, you know, people's websites or whatever, try and spend some time, maybe do one a day, you know, or just set yourself up on a goal to make sure that you give folks a testimonial, because those that don't know us, you know, that's very helpful for them to get out there. And JP, just so you're aware that each week we have a theme for our screenshots. We did not, because I was absent last week, and not that I know of. I don't know if y'all picked one, but it doesn't look like that. And we change our virtual backgrounds, and then we focus on something for a discussion topic. And we also have an elevator pitch session on the 3rd Friday of the month, where we come in, and that's what we do is we focus and practice our elevator pitches and give each other coaching tips and feedback on that. So we have that coming up. For announcements, on Tuesday, my husband has a procedure, so we will not be having our co-op meeting. However, I believe I have found a way for our reporting for our investment club through, I'm just going to use an accounts payable function on QuickBooks. And I think that's going to work for me to be able to do that. So I'm going to try and get that out to you before Tuesday. So everybody will have their report and see where we are and all of that. So just want to let you know that. And then I have all of my kids and grandkids coming in for Thanksgiving. So we will not be having lunch and learn on the 26th of November. So we will have next Friday, but the following Friday we will be off. So use that time to enjoy your family or go to other events or whatever that you would like to do. And then let's talk about any events or activities that you have coming up before the end of the year. If you'd like to share those, go ahead and tell it to us. And then you can also put those in the chat. Anybody have anything? Nope.
I have a long list of ones I emailed out to some people, so I will, I'll be sharing, if you follow my LinkedIn at all, that'd be great. I'll share everything there. That might be easiest because I'm speaking on a ton of summits and doing a bunch of events. Some are free and some are really inexpensive. So I would love to share that with everybody.
Thank you. All right, I want to spend just a couple of minutes talking about our social media ambassadors program that we've got going, and I need your help because I'm going to be promoting you next week. So I have 4 weeks worth of data now, and what I've been tracking is the reaction, comments, and views and messages. And last week I changed it up. We were having the ambassadors to do the comments just like we do in our normal day-to-day, but I was having them to share also. Well, last week I told them not to share, just to comment, make a thoughtful comment across the social media platforms. I did not find that there was a significant drop in the amount of views or anything, which was kind of shocking to me. Because with my research, I was told that, that would really boost up the algorithm. I did not find that. And I started out, I was telling you guys that we was doing about, 15, 20, maybe per post. On average, my weekly averages for week 1 was 243, week 2, 242, week 3, 376, week 4, 297. Overall average for the 4 weeks is 289 views per post. Now, this is only with, less than 15 ambassadors working. So we're talking only 10, 15 ambassadors were working on these accounts. Now, this is something also, I think it was Melissa was telling me that one of her LinkedIn mentors was concerned over the fact that, that I was using overseas help for my ambassadors and all of that. And we had discussed this a couple of weeks ago in here, whether that was going to affect the algorithm or not. Was it just going to go to those people or not? Well, it's not. If you will open up your views, you will see a limited amount of where it's coming from. So it's opening up the algorithm on your connections and yes, there's a little bit of that, but nothing like you would think if those ambassadors only be opened up to their countries. So that right now is a false assumption.
Don't you use VPNs also, Nancy? Because that makes it so then the platform doesn't know where you can point it at the United States. So
I haven't told my ambassadors to do that. And that might be too expensive of an option. JP, I'll leave that to you. You can talk about that in just a minute. But anyways, I have been absolutely thrilled with this, so far. So now it's time to change it up a little bit. And I'm going to be doing categories to see what works. And then I'll come in here and tell you what I'm finding. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. Melissa, do you have anything that you could share from your point? You have been doing, I think, more videos on your post.
Yeah, so it's definitely growing the views. I think with videos, it's harder because they have to watch the entire video for it to count. So all the ambassadors are, my videos are 1 minute, but other people don't necessarily do that. So it's hard to tell how many actually see it. But on posts, my numbers are definitely, significantly higher as well. And the videos are higher too. And that's interesting to know what you said, Nancy, about it's getting in front of other people. So I'll keep watching that. And I need to actually find the time to start tracking it the way you're tracking it and go
Yeah,
back.
and I'm doing a new spreadsheet now that I have 4 weeks. So I'm thinking, okay, now I want to kind of look and see what topics, like the biggest one that I had was 624. And that one was on the Bitcoin when I talked about the $100,000, just FYI, Claudio, just keep that in mind. So that was a big one. And then I had a 453 one, and that's when I had Juanita in there, and I was talking about sharing your video, that post. So it's kind of interesting. So now I'm going to kind of watch and see if I can see the trends in what kind of pictures, what kind of things, to see what is going to work or not. And then I think what I want to do is we'll keep Melissa's going with her video. I kind of stepped down on my YouTube for the last couple of weeks to give them some time to work on just like LinkedIn and Facebook right now to see, and Twitter is nothing for me. So I'm totally dropping that line out. For me, it may work for other people, but for me, I didn't see anything on my Twitter account. JP, can you share if most people use a VPN over there in the Philippines? I have people all over, but I do have quite a few from the Philippines. And is that too expensive of something to think about?
Yes, it is quite expensive. Majority of the people who use VPN here would be corporations or big companies itself. But
Oh,
basically,
okay.
it's not that much used here in the country.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts? Have you been seeing the post? Nope. Haven't been seeing my daily post on LinkedIn.
And I haven't been seeing yours either, Nancy. So it's
Interesting.
yeah.
I haven't seen anything at all.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That
Just a
is
moment
rather.
ago, I saw something to do about bucket list. Was that the one that you
Uh-huh.
you mentioning?
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Well, we'll do a little searching on that. I know, like on Facebook, if you haven't liked or commented on somebody's stuff, eventually it goes away and you don't see it in your feed very often. So that is rather interesting that y'all aren't seeing it, because we've been doing them every day, pretty consistent around 9 o'clock in the morning. And that was the other thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to try the different time frames based on the research that I gathered, and see if that helps with the views. So for you, I want to promote you next week. So here's what I would like each of you to do. Provide me with a 1,300 character intro, bio, whatever you would like for us to know about you, something fun. So start with your little elevator pitch first, and then make sure that it's 1,300 characters or less. And then what I'm going to do is each day I will promote a couple of you out through that, and we'll see if we can get you. And something else I learned, how before they said on that first comment, they suggested that you be the first one to comment on your own post. Well, yesterday on some research, I said, I guess they're kind of catching on to that. So they don't want you, the algorithm, don't be the first one on your own post. If you have a link or something, wait till somebody does comment and maybe the second or the third one down. Remember how we was not including our links on up in the body, because then they wasn't showing it. And you'd say link in the comments, and then you would try and be the first one to comment, and that was helping. Well, evidently, they've made some changes to that, and they're picking up on that. So just make sure that you wait till somebody comments on that below, and then we'll get started on that. So
So
If-
just an image and 1,300 characters. I'm just trying to clarify the steps or directions.
Yes, a picture that you want me to use on my little
Mhm.
graphic, my red, white, and blue graphic.
Mhm.
And then I'll
1,300
introduce
characters.
you. And then you can give me a link if you want me to share it. And then I will do that in the comments down below. Not on the first, but you know, the second one or whatever. So
Okay.
anything that you would like to, and Barry, I know yours is a little different. So if you just want to tell something about you, how long maybe you've been with Melaleuca, how you love the company or something like that would be great. And, you know, you can put me a little personal note down there to let me know what I can and can't put on there for you. Does anybody else have any questions or anything about that?
When do you want the by?
Just as soon as you can get them to me. I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, a fire or anything like that, but I would like to just promote. I'm going to send that out in a Eagle update to try and get as many as possible run through there between now and the end of the month. Just to kind of see, you know, I just want to test it, see what that does. And y'all be paying attention to if you get connection requests and, you know, different things like that. I need to know because I'm just going to try a little bit of everything to see how we can boost up our social media engagement.
Well, I'd like to buy a package, so I need directions. I'd mentioned that to you before vacation, but I figured you were busy. And I'd also like to pay for my co-op piece, but I need direction again of where to send and how to send the money and what to do for both of those things, please, when you get time.
Okay, I'll do that right after this because I've got that down on my notes. Perfect.
And so the 1,300 characters, you don't want, that can't be in a Word document because you need it to link to somewhere. Is that right?
No. You can do it. You can just
Or
send it
just
to
in an
me.
email?
Yeah, you can send it to me in
Okay.
email or you can send it to me messenger. It doesn't matter. It's just that includes, because that's the maximum amount on a LinkedIn post, you know,
Yeah.
for our posting parties. So that's why I want to keep it to that length. And that does include spaces. So 1,300 or less.
Okay, thank you.
But tell us if you want to share something interesting about yourself or how you got into business or anything that you would like for us to know about you. All right, let's see here. For today, I thought since we're kind of on a roll with these discussions, the first thing I wanted to ask you is, are you using funnels or are you not using funnels for your business? And if so, do you need help with those or is there anything that we can help maybe mastermind you through on your business right now?
I use ClickFunnels and I'm happy with it.
What can you walk us through your funnel? I wasn't necessarily meaning what are you using for your funnel. I meant your steps. Step A, the first part, the top of your funnel is what, Marcia?
Oh, I see what you mean, like the tiers.
Yes.
A freebie.
Yeah, free gift.
Yeah, you want to get a freebie because you want to catch their contact info. And if you can get phone number, that's even better. Then I have a book. You can buy, no, then I have my, what do you call it, bundle? And then I have 7-Day Stop the Craving program. And then I have my, and then I need something else. Then I need something in the next tier. And then the next thing is my Stop the Cravings program, which is a high ticket, which is 4 figures.
On your top of the funnel for your lead generation, can you share some tips that you've learned on that to try and get folks into that top of the funnel activity?
Well, I think one of the things is to post every day about what you do. You know, like, for example, I run free, 3-day courses, 5-day courses, and I would say something like, if you would like to stop the cravings, drop a yes below. And I create stories within Facebook because the algorithm right now in stories is very good.
That was going to be my question because I have noticed you've been doing a lot of stories lately. You want to tell us kind of the difference, what you've found or some tips on that?
when
And
you're
Jessica,
creating
you
a
may have
story-
something too. Go
when
ahead.
when you're creating a story, you want 3 parts. You want the hook, so some kind of headline that's going to grab them. And then you want the content to be such that they'll continue to scroll. This applies to stories and posts. And then you want to, the third part is a call to action.
Anybody else have anything that they would like to add?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
go
The
ahead.
the other thing too, photos are very important. And I know sometimes I get caught in the loop of the same photo, but if you can go out with a friend and do photo shoots together, just with your smartphone. And then you can go in, and then there's an app called Facetune that you
F-
could get, and that
FACE2, the number 2.
Tune, Tune. And then you can go in, and it's got different filters and different components that you can, do things to brighten up your photo or reduce your, if you don't like the shape of your face, you can, do all those sort of things. If you've got thick waist, you want to make it smaller, whatever. So-
Yeah, sign me up for that right now. Oh, I did nothing but eat last week. Oh my goodness.
There's even a filter on Facetune that if you're outdoors and you want it to look like you're have a tan, more of a tan, then you can do that too, sort of thing. So anyways, those are just,
Jessica, do you have anything that you'd like to add to that or anything that your group has found?
I think it's also having a way for them to get to know you in more of a group setting, because what I've found, and I'm shifting to this next year, is I don't know about you guys, but I'm running out of time space, right? And, I know you were doing the 15-minute marathons, but instead what I've started to offer is if I'm in a group networking or a Zoom, or even if I'm speaking, I'd say, if you'd like to have a getting to know call with me, I do small, intimate group getting to know calls between 5 and 8 people, and we get to network and join and see how we can collaborate and get to know each other a bit better intimately. And that's what I'm doing instead of my old calendar link to just have a one-on-one. And saving the one-on-ones for direct referrals for people who are interested in being a customer. I just, I had to figure out how else can I squeeze more time on this calendar and still have the lifestyle I want to live. I mean, I'm sewing a blanket this weekend for my new grandbaby, and I'm kayaking and painting, and I don't want to give that up. So how do I have both, right? And so that's what I've been asking myself. How do I still have that relationship with people that I value so much and is true to me, and not give up on either end? I don't want to sacrifice either way. I want to find
Right. And
a way to have both.
the whole thing, we're talking about the laptop lifestyle. We're wanting to get our work schedules down, where it's manageable, where we're not working 24 hours, 7 days a week and all that, which we all know in the beginning, we have to do some of that. But as we get older, like you said, there's, other priorities that comes in line. And I agree with you. That 125 was absolutely killing me, but it got the ball rolling for me so I could gain some momentum, which is what I was after. So you're exactly right. And that's a very smart, savvy move. Melissa, do you have something that you can share?
Yeah, I wanted to say I love that idea, Jessica. And something else that I came across recently, which I'm about to implement, and it was from actually listening to a lawyer on Health Coach Success podcast. And I knew I needed a lawyer who focused on health and wellness to get all my ducks in a row. And I booked a session with him. And after booking that session, I got an email saying, please watch this video before you come to the session. And in that video, it's only like 5 minutes long. He totally preps you mentally for what you're going to be doing, talking about how he's going to help you, why you need his help, all of this. So I came to that basically actually thinking it was going to cost a lot more than it did. And so when I heard the pricing and everything, I was pretty much already sold. And I just thought that's a brilliant way to set people up. And it means he does 15-minute sessions with his one-to-one clients, because he's all this stuff he says to everybody all the time, and that saves time. So I'm going to be doing that as well, because same as you, Jessica, I need to find time in my day. And if I can shorten each of my one-to-one calls that way, I'm going to be doing that. And I wanted to say to Marcia, that's awesome that you're having success with Facebook stories, etc. I spent last year trying to generate success with Facebook ads to no effect. And pretty much everybody that responded wanted my services for free. So that's why this year my focus is on LinkedIn and my podcast, and then my health hacks, which I just found out from my podcast team, they can add that into my podcast as well. And my podcast is about to go out through Pod Nation to Amazon Fire and other apps that are on TV as well. So I'm trying that, but I moved away from Facebook because I just didn't find any success with it myself for what I was doing. But I'm happy to share my funnel if you want to, or I don't know if you're finished with Marcia's funnel or you're
Can I
both.
just say something to that, Melissa?
Mhm.
I found, so I'm starting to do some work. I'm doing, connecting on LinkedIn, and I
Mhm.
find the quality of people on LinkedIn are different than the quality of people on Facebook.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just
Mhm.
talking, it's a different quality.
Yeah.
And I find that the people on LinkedIn, from my experience, seem to have more money to invest in the programs that they want to invest in. I
Mhm.
find from my experience, so I want be very careful here not to, use a brush stroke to paint everybody in the same brush stroke. In my experience on Facebook, I'm finding that people are looking for freebies and they will just shop for freebies, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, that was mine as well. And we're both in health and wellness. And so for people that aren't in health and wellness, it may be different. But I find in health and wellness, people already tend to put their health last. So asking them to spend money on their health up front is already a hurdle, let alone if you're dealing with a person that's looking for something for free. So that's why I shifted. And instead I'm looking at LinkedIn and entrepreneurs on LinkedIn, etc.
Can I just say one more thing too? And I learned this from a multimillionaire female coach, and only 2% of female entrepreneurs are making $1 million or more. So she's in the 2% club. And she said she is not giving any more refunds. And she states that right up front, there are no refunds, so that when people sign up, that sort of filters out certain people. So when they know that there's no refund, then you're attracting a certain audience, if you will. So that was just another tip.
And I have that in my new legal documents. Otherwise, people get, you touch sensitive issues, emotional issues, and it triggers people. And then they want to put their tail between their legs and run. And that doesn't help them get to their goals, right? So when you say up front that we're in this together, I'm here to support you, but you don't get to run away, then you get the person that's really ready to do the work showing up.
Yes. And one other thing, it's a lot easier, and this is my experience again, it's a lot easier for males to sort of be bold and say, no refunds, I'm going to work with people on LinkedIn. But when it comes to women, we see ourselves perhaps as being a BITCH. And so we just have to be out there, just like the male entrepreneurs. Female entrepreneurs too have to, sort of stand in that power and just, put up their, if you will, entrepreneurial boundaries. Anyways, that's the end of my rant.
One of the
Well,
things
no,
that I
but-
want to bring forward that you mentioned about the income and all of that stuff. I believe Olivia or Jessica, probably both of them, talked about the difference in the household incomes and the higher level and all of that. However, we are seeing a huge transition right now of all of us entrepreneurs who are migrating now over to LinkedIn. So be wary, because what you're going to see is you're going to see the demographics start to shift a little bit on that income and those things, because more and more everyday people are seeing the benefits of LinkedIn. So there may be, some little stuff going on there, but that's what I'm noticing. It's almost like it's the wild, wild west, where before it was pretty, you could almost guess what you was going to be seeing on LinkedIn. And now it's the wild, wild west. I mean, I'm seeing all different kinds of stuff being posted on LinkedIn. Some of it should not be there, save that for Facebook and the personal, stuff. Yes, Marcia, did you have something that you wanted to add to that? You are on mute.
Yeah, so I just to take that point further about the Wild Wild West. So I had some guy with a professional looking account profile reach out to me, and his comments, when they send a message, if I send a message to somebody, it's a professional message to connect. Well, his was basically, will you marry me sort of thing. But when you look at his profile, he had a PhD in this and he was the CEO of that. And I reported him to LinkedIn, and it turned out to be a fake account. So that's just another thing to be vigilant about.
Oh, wow. Hang on just a minute, Melissa. Claudio, you had something previously. You had your hand up. Did you forget what it was? Because it's been a minute.
Yeah, no, while we were talking of sort of, the way platforms are changing and whatnot, and the demographics, I just kind of wanted to ask a question to everybody. I haven't been into one for quite a while now, but I know I used to attend a lot of meetup groups, whether they were live or whether they were on Zoom. And, similar to what you were saying about Facebook, I found that most of the people in the free meetup groups were there looking for free stuff. It was basically almost impossible to get them involved with anything. I'm just wondering if people are still using meetups and are having better success. I'm not sure if the demographic is changing on those right now.
Some of the things that I have learned, I'm on there, and we've gotten a couple to come to lunch and learn through that, but people do not respect what you do not inspect. And one of the things that I have learned is they don't respect free if they're not having to pay for it. So I'm thinking about shifting that over there to charging, and then maybe giving them a credit if they decide to join our group. And so that's kind of one of the things that I'd found. And then also, through some local groups that were using Meetup quite successfully, they now have told me that the attendance rate has just plummeted, and because if it's free, they're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And so then you go out and you get this venue, and then people don't show up. It's very disheartening. Anybody else have anything through Meetup or anything like that they've experienced?
My business coach has used it, but she's with Lead Up for Women. So Jessica knows her, Colleen Biggs, and she has done well out of meetup groups through the pandemic of people coming to her lunch and learns as well and becoming members of her organization. And so she was recommending that I look into it. I haven't had time to yet. So it's interesting your feedback, because again, in my work, I don't want the person that's coming for free. And I would only do it on Zoom. I live too far away from anyone anywhere to try and do any kind of in-person networking ever again. It's just a waste of time now that I can go from call to call and not drive 2 hours to get somewhere.
Right. The money and time. Absolutely.
I haven't followed Meetup very much. I mean, we use it some just posting events and things, but I haven't tracked the stats on it. I've gotten really good results from Eventbrite personally. And we use, of course, LinkedIn and Facebook events, but we're using some other event sites and trying to see what kind of results are shaking out of those. But haven't, like I said, I don't have enough data to really share anything profound. So.
Melissa, you want to share your funnel with us, how you're working?
Sure. I've just been tweaking it, so I'd love your feedback. I'm starting with the Immune Booster webinar workshop, 1 hour. It is free. That will offer people my Discover Your Toxic Load quiz, which gets them into my nurturing sequence emails. They'll also discover that there are things they can do to boost their immune system on their own, and that there are things that they can do that they might want my help with if they want to take their immune system to the next level, which puts them into my Health Kickstart and Detox program, which in 2022, I want to run monthly. So I'll have these webinars monthly. And then from there, I had been running another program called Health Optimizer, but it wasn't as successful. People didn't really know what that meant. And I was talking sleep, stress, gut health, gut brain connection. And so instead, what I'm now thinking about doing is creating a membership at that point. So everybody who completes my detox, it becomes a detox graduate and then goes into a membership so that they can still stay in my circle, still get information from me. And now the piece that I'm trying to figure out is free, like what, have a free level and then have 2 paid levels. And what do people want in their pay, in those paid levels? I would be including monthly Q&A in the free level, just again, to have people still in touch with me. I'd be inviting people to come back and do the detox when I'm running community detoxes so they can be part of that. And I'm trying to put those pieces together. I was on a mastermind last week who said, call my clients that have done the detox and ask them what they want and see what they say, because that's going to give me a lot of information. But also I'm open to feedback and ideas from any of you that are in different memberships and what you like about them or don't like about them.
One of the things that I could think of right away is just the accountability of somebody who's been through your program to stay in touch with you. I think would be very valuable.
And then is that something people would be willing to pay for? And, you know, is that a price point that's like $19.99 a month? And then there's another level that's maybe at $49.99 a month or higher. That's the part that I'm trying to understand is what do people want?
One of the things that that we have learned is if you can keep that price point around $30, that seems to be the sweet spot for most people, that they don't balk too much at that. So just kind of keep that in mind. But that's everything that I have learned from other people and found myself. That seems to be about right. You know, $1 a day.
Right.
Can I just say something too? And I heard from somebody in marketing that if you say $997 as opposed to $999, there's something about the 7 seems to pull in more people than the 9. I don't know what it is.
I've heard that too. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. So $29.97 or $19.97.
Yeah, or 27 or 47. You know what I mean? There's just something about that 7.
And for me, that drives me crazy just because of the bookkeeping aspect of it, you know, the pennies and the cents and all that. But you're exactly right. Just like the $99 psychologically, you know, it's less than 100.
You know, we have a car dealership up here that all the prices end in 777. And that's because it's owned by Paul Coffey, an ex-hockey player, and his number was 77. So every one of his vehicles ended in 777.
Oh, wow. So
mine all end in 3s or 7s because I like those numbers. I feel like there's good energy with them or something. I don't know.
So let's brainstorm with Melissa for a second. Go ahead, Barry.
Well, I was going to say, there's also the history of the likes of Amazon and Walmart who have tried and found that $29.95 it's a lot more business than $30. So you always drop it below that extra number.
So does anybody have any ideas for Melissa on her membership?
I had a question for her. I raised my hand.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sophia. Welcome.
Thank you. I wanted to know what's the difference between Melissa's $19.97 and her $29.97. What does people get differently? Why they would pay those 2 different prices?
That's what I'm trying to figure out in order to determine what those price points would be. And part of it would be more of my time, obviously. And what does that look like? So at the highest level, maybe it is 1-to-1 time. In the mid-level, maybe it's more group time. I don't know, but I would love your feedback and thoughts if you're in different memberships, because I'm not in any memberships that I pay for myself. So I'm wondering if anybody is, and if you know what that difference is that you get. Like I'm in subscriptions, but that's for like apps and stuff. That's not any personal coaching, training, learning.
Could you include maybe a product or something like that? I know yours is a little different because I go on your website to buy it, but I'm thinking maybe you could add some product or something with that each month, you know, kind of like an auto ship type deal, but through you. Maybe something that you're not offering. I mean, I know you don't want to have competing stuff, but
The problem with that gets really hard, Nancy, is that I'm in Canada. So the products come out of the US. They're super affordable for Americans and nearly twice the price for Canadians because we have to pay duty, shippings, taxes, and exchange rate. So
I
even
gotcha.
my price points for my clients, I've actually this year had to separate them out because I realized I was either, overcharging Americans and undercharging Canadians somewhere along the way if I just had one price point, and that just didn't seem fair. So I've had to separate it out. So that just makes it hard. And Equilife does that, and I love their products. And for my American clients, that's what I do send them to. And they have specials that happen every week and with auto ships, etc. And then for Canadians, I use a whole different organization altogether for some of the products so that they can at least access some in Canada.
well, what about doing like your, a group, like let's just say a small group for one price and then either a larger group or a one-on-one for the other price? You know what I'm saying? For those people who really just want your undivided attention.
Yep.
Or maybe just a little bit of that. You could still have a nice small group, 10 people or less, because some people are not going to show, or whatever.
Mhm,
Have a
mhm.
little mastermind or something like that each month. And then the other one would be, fewer people or one-on-one.
Right. So
Well,
Go ahead, Marcia.
Melissa, there are two people on Instagram that I follow, Feel Good Life and Lori Ladd. And Lori Ladd has a huge Patreon community. And here's what she offers. She offers a $31 Canadian monthly membership. And this is what she has I'm just reading what she has.
Right.
For that. 4 live online events. One is a live Q&A. One is a live mini session. 3 community members receive a free 30-minute session. 1 live guided meditation. 1 live super chat. She brings a member on screen and answers their questions, and a private forum where you can get support and connect to the community and access to all archived live events. So
Ooh, I
that's
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I was gonna
archived events could be great. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna suggest maybe doing a training, like have a mini course that the people for the higher price that
Mhm.
they can go through, and then always have that available for as new members come in, that they'll start going through the course, and then it will end with, them having to like have a consultation with you, and then move forward into, maybe something bigger or at the time after that.
Yep. I love that because they're coming in after the detox anyway, so they will have done my course. So then they just do that consultation and then we figure out which level works for them.
Right.
Yeah. And I love that too, Marcia. And because I was thinking too about bringing on other healers or other experts, so it isn't always me. So I could do that once a month as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Yes. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Kelly.
What about putting together a digital ebook
Mhm.
on, like, for somebody that wants to do the detox, like a do-it-yourself detox that you charge for, and then they would get a taste of you, they would get a taste of what results, they could experience. I don't know. That's something I would be interested in personally.
I've got a couple of ebooks. I haven't done a do-it-yourself detox because it's too easy for people to drop off. And then their taste of me is that it's not successful and it doesn't work. But when people actually work with me and I guide them through and I hold their hand, I have 100% success rate. Even when I get messages on day 1 that they want to quit. And that happens. Everybody comes to it from a different place of health and, a different strength of their why, right? But when I can reach out and say, what's going on? How can I support you? They keep going.
I see.
So I love the idea of an ebook, and I do have a couple. So I'll think about what I can do with those, but that would be why I wouldn't want to let somebody do the detox on their own.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Yeah, so on Instagram, Melissa, there's a woman named Tosca, Tosca, Reno, Reno.
Mhm.
And she's a prolific author. She has the whole clean eating book series. But the point I want to make is right now, this week, she's running a juice detox. And so you could, tap into her, follow her,
Okay,
and see how she's doing that. I think she offered 50% off or something like that.
right. Awesome. Okay, I don't spend any time on Instagram, so clearly I need to find some time to
Instagram.
get to it.
I want to tell you, Instagram is really good because you can do reels. You
Mhm.
can interview people live right on your profile.
Right.
So you can, it's an untapped, and you can set up a business Instagram account.
Yeah, I've done that. I've just,
I think we should get
on,
somebody
yes.
in here to give us a little primer on Instagram.
Because I
And
really don't
maybe-
know how to use it.
Yeah, and just kind of show us what some of the possibilities are for those of us who are just maybe dabbling or not on there or whatever. I think that would be very beneficial. Yes, Marcia.
So here's another one. So I think most of us know the name Laura Langmeyer. Laura Langmeyer is now going over to TikTok. And so there's we think of TikTok as the 16-year-olds, doing their thing. But there's also another use where, and she's getting a huge following. I mean, everybody knows Laura Langmeyer, I think. So that's another thing. If you can use that for business reasons, then you can. Yeah, so that's untapped territory there too.
Anybody else have anything for Melissa?
Well, I appreciate all of this so far, and I don't want to take all the time. So
We had
there were
plenty
many
of
great
time.
ideas here.
Oh yeah, one other thing. So I think this is from Raymond Aaron, and he teaches people how to write a book, and I've got some books under him. So he says, I think it's him that says you don't use the word ebook because it sort of has this connotation of sort of a low value. I think, and I'm not sure what he uses, but I've heard that downloadable PDF is a good thing to use.
Or digital.
Or yeah, or digital something. But ebook doesn't seem to have that perceived value element to it. So for whatever that's worth. And we always want people to think that it's all about perception.
Yes.
Because we want people, oh, lots of value here. Perceived value.
Absolutely. I mean, there's one of these groups that they're charging, 97 women's groups charging $97 a month. And man, they've got tons of people in that group. And I'm like, wow, yes, we need to be doing that. We need to be doing it, girls and boys. We've got lots of talent in this group. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to share about their funnel or ask questions on any problem area that they might be experiencing that they'd like us to help them flesh out?
Well, I have a new funnel that I'm starting. And my funnel starts typically with speaking, I've noticed. So that's the very beginning of my funnel is speaking events. Because what I've noticed over the year is I either get clients from direct referrals and introductions or from they've heard me speak. And after that, when I speak, they typically have an opportunity to either have a one-on-one call with me, or they also do get access to a free gift. And so they are getting, I only send at this point, maybe 2 or 3 times a month an email. I know if you get emails from me, as often as you see them is as often as they go out, which is kind of rare. I think my goal is maybe going to be for next year, once a week at most. I still feel like it's better to not send too many emails to your list, because you can just overdo it. Just, I'm torn between twice a month or 4 times a month. But but the next thing that happens for me now is this new course. So I have a video course and training to how to find and source your own virtual assistant. And then the next part though, that goes with it, so they can just buy that and be done with me if they want to. But what I found was that also people need continued support, even though they've gone off and gone and found their own person. So I'm starting an annual membership for, I think I'm gonna have 2 versions of it. Well, actually kind of 3. So here's my idea is people can just drop in for coaching and consulting on how to get the best return on investment with the VA they have already. There's a kind of a drop in and pay one price if they just want to show up. And then there's a, if they want to come every month price. And then I'm thinking about offering, and this one's not going to launch until next year, but I'm going to offer the first 2 right away, a once a month and a just drop in. And here's the price for one-time drop in. And then I'm considering a weekly, because I feel like with a virtual assistant, you need to keep the momentum going. You need this. My clients that do the best in our agency have a weekly check-in, and we keep the momentum going, and we keep pushing forward, and we keep figuring out what are the tasks they're doing and how are they doing on them. And we just keep pushing. And that weekly meeting helps them get so much done. So that's where I am right now with that funnel. And that's a funnel I can serve in the masses. And I want to focus my energy on that. And I'm actually putting that on my website, because the agency, I've gotten a tsunami of customers in that, and it's not on my website, and I don't want it to be there, because I want it to just be the right people, right? And keep that smaller, because it's harder to scale up and serve that group, right? So that's kind of where I am. I don't know if you guys have thoughts or opinions on that, but that's just sort of something I'm up to. And I did email Claudio. I can't get this computer to let me copy something into the chat. So I emailed him a list of the events that I'm going to be at. Like I said, the majority of them have a free ticket. And if they do, and you guys could give me the grace of registering, even if you can't go, it would help me a lot. So Claudio is my hero, and he's going to share that in the chat for me, because I emailed it to him because I couldn't get it to paste myself. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I don't know. You have any thoughts on that?
It probably didn't paste because there was too many characters. There's actually a limit to the size of your post that you can put into the.
Yeah, it's also an Apple Mac Air book thing that I'm not used to using, because I'm into meetings, and I can't make things slide, and everything's asked backwards for me, and I just can't figure it out because I'm not Apple-y. So.
I do have a question for you. I love what you're thinking, and some of it could, relate to how I end up offering things within my membership. But for the drop-in sessions, obviously you're just going to set a day and a time and let people know that's when you're available, and people drop in or don't drop in. And how often were you thinking of doing that?
Well, see, I think eventually I'm going to have a weekly session. So, but that'll be a higher paid membership if you come every week. And then I'll have people who pay just to come in once a month. Because the other reason I think once a month too is because people have such a struggle with time, So, I think I may just do the drop-in and the once a month, and the drop-in will be only when that 1 month a session is available. And of course it costs more to show up one time, just to drop in once, versus it does if you bought all 12 sessions for the year, right? If you pay the annual membership, it'll be cheaper per session. That's how because you got to make it an advantage and give that reward to those people. So yeah, so that's kind of where I am with that.
I think that's a great idea, because one of the things, even Claudio has mentioned it a couple of times, because people were, complaining I was so busy. It was like nobody could catch me, because I was constantly, I tried to, segment my time. And like on the Wednesdays, I am there. So I've been letting folks know, if you need to speak to me or want to chat with me or something like that, just come on there on Wednesdays from 11:30 to 1 on Zoom, and I will just be hanging out. So I think you're on to something there. I think that's going to be a real big, good benefit for your clients, I think. And then that way you could do your calendar, and because that's one of my biggest things from
Mhm.
last year, and now I know I'm going to make some changes for this upcoming year for myself, is,
Mhm.
how to work that time where you can serve everybody at a high level, but at the same time, you're still having plenty of time for yourself and to actually work your business.
And I challenge everybody here today to look at your calendar before the end of the year. And I've already done this, so I'm excited about myself, is I have booked myself for 3 solid days in December where I am doing nothing but plan my 2022 year for the calendar. I'm planning everything out. I've already started some of the process as far as our marketing and some other things and decisions like that. But I am just going to have 3 quiet days away from my family, away from, business. And I might work with my assistant on it to have some like collaboration and chat and, but I am gifting myself that. And I'm very excited about it.
I do that every year on my birthday week. And that's just my time where I do my updated vision board, look at, how things are going,
Mhm.
just like you said. And it's not quite the end of the year, but you really
Mhm.
need to start planning for that. So does anybody else have any other comments or tips for Jessica?
Not for Jessica, but if anybody would like help with creating a vision board and they're getting their clarity around their business for 2022, a business coach lady I know from another networking group is offering that now. And I'm going to be doing mine with her next Wednesday afternoon. So if anybody wants that connection, reach out and I'm happy to connect you to her.
And I think we just posted somebody else that I know who's doing one on my Facebook or my LinkedIn too. I don't remember. I think it's in January sometime. So if you can't make Melissa's, check out this. I attend one every year. So I just think it's fun. And so, yeah, I'm vision board girl too.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, I'm going to ask for some help on our platform for a couple of minutes here. One of the things that I've noticed is that as we've been migrating and changing kind of how we've been doing things, I've got several comments from people who really love when we're masterminding and doing this kind of thing because it's really, really beneficial. And this is something that other groups do not do. Now, we had a mastermind session each month that was not very well attended. So, my thoughts are changing maybe the format of the Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday a little bit to have more of these, maybe at least 2 sessions out of each month. We would mastermind, but we would need to know in advance, like I need to know what issues we want to be masterminding, or at least what categories or topics or something like that, so that we're not just winging it when we come in here. Now, some of it is great, like we're just flying by the seat of our pants today, and that's fine. But, there's other topics that really we need to get down to the nitty gritty, and I need to be prepared for you to do, some research and have some maybe experts come in and that type of thing. And then maybe on that mastermind session once a month, do something different. I know everybody's time is very valuable. I want to give you value for your membership. So I am open. Tell me if you like this new format, what we've been doing for the last month, what you liked about the other format, what you would like to keep, what you wouldn't, so that when I start my planning for the upcoming year, I know, what we're looking at, and think about, the guest speakers and all of that as well. I did learn that 2 guest speakers is just too much. So if we do have a guest speaker, we only need to be doing 1 per episode. So I'm open. The floor is yours.
I like this like today's format. We're discussing, somebody's particular problem or challenges, but it also gives me ideas because I've never even thought about doing something like that. So I think it's great, and I think twice a month would really help people.
Go ahead, Claudio.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in the same boat. Nobody in here knows absolutely everything. So I think there's always going to be something that somebody might be able to help out with or suggest that other people might not know about it, but could possibly use it. So I think it's just a great way of sharing information, new apps or new tools or whatever it might be. And yeah, I mean, I'm always learning things from these mastermind sessions.
And I would agree too. I think there's so much knowledge and wisdom in this room. And so having the ability to, you know, brainstorm and bounce ideas off people is really beneficial. So many networking groups, you come in, you do your spiel, and you leave, and you don't actually get to interact freely with other people in the room. So I also love that aspect of this, as we all get to know each other better. And to Balbir's point, you don't necessarily even know what you don't know. You haven't even thought of what might be next. And so hearing other people's questions, comments, suggestions, you know, gives you something more to think about and take away. So I only ever got to attend one of your masterminds, Nancy, because I had such trouble getting onto them. And then the one that I got on had a fabulous speaker, but I don't think it's necessary to always have an outside expert come in. I think there's so much expertise in this room, and then sharing that amongst us is potentially better use of everyone's time than, you know, always having a mastermind where it's somebody else.
Thank you. Anybody else? So do you think that two sessions out of the month then would be good, that we're just masterminding?
Yeah, and I love the idea of picking a topic. Like I would love to hear everyone's success in getting people to sign up for your 3-day challenge, your 5-day event, your webinar, your whatever it is you're trying to drive them to. If you have an event you're trying to drive them to, one of the things I'm building is I know I'm not supposed to use this, Marcia, but I'm going to say it, ebook. I'm building an ebook to pull together the top ways and successful tips on how to drive people to webinars. So I know I'm going to start asking that on social media, and I'm going to be asking that question everywhere, because I think it'd be cool to have a resource that compiled all these different great ideas. Let's just freaking try everything until something works.
A couple of weeks ago, the one that you were absent because it was your idea, we did do that. And I believe we recorded it and we posted it. And there was some really good insights on that video. So just a little FYI on our YouTube channel. I know we did spend that whole time.
You know which one it was?
I'll have to go back and look, but I know
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
I'm
I
gonna go
put that
watch
in the
it.
description.
Okay.
But that was a really good topic. Not saying that we can't do it again.
No,
But-
I
but-
feel like a heel.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We just loved having the idea thrown out there. And, you know, we could do something like, you know, social media, or, you know, the virtual events, or even masterminds, or, you know, Melissa, we could do one on membership sites. So we put that out early. If everybody knows, then whatever information that they have, bring it and come prepared to discuss, you know, what you love, what you don't love, you know, about those sites, and that'll get all of us kind of going. I like that idea myself.
And to
Yes, Barry.
to your ebook, Jessica, I was just going to say things are changing all the time, right? And so as soon as it's published, something else will come out. So I love that idea because it's really easy to update an ebook. And then
But the cool thing is what I'm finding is the things that people think were out of date before, that people aren't doing anymore, are now what's working again. So fascinating to me is I think we should keep it and say, oh, let's shake that tree and see what we
Right.
get from it. And I think it's not one answer, it's many answers. It's you know, this and that. And it's also learning what speaks to your audience, because a postcard might speak to your audience, or one of those greeting cards that people are sending out through these services, versus it might not work for my audience at all. You know what I mean? So I think trying the different things and having a book that has them all, even if someone says, oh, that's an ancient idea. Some people think cold calling is an ancient idea, but let me just tell you, if you know how to warm it up, it works. So, you know, pick up the phone and dial, just try it. You never know.
Yep. Text has been working great for me. I mean, people have been sending me texts. Barry, go ahead. You had something that you wanted to share.
Actually, it was a question. What is the address of the YouTube channel, and are these meetings, the recordings that you do there?
yes, the recordings on Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday, I've been posting all of them there. We had originally said it was only going to be for members only, but I thought since we're trying to build our tribe to let people have a taste of what we're all about, I thought that that would be very beneficial. And I'm working with the ambassadors, and we're going to be pushing that out a little bit more to kind of get the subscribers up so that we can have our own name and all of that. Right now, it's Nancy Gaskins, Who Wants to Be an Entrepreneur, and all of them are there. And I'll put that in the Eagle update this week as well. I think I put it in there, I'm not sure, a couple of weeks ago, but I will send one out over the weekend probably with all the latest greatest on that. But do any of you have any other topics that you would like for us to mastermind, just general topics? And then, we could put those out there so people can start thinking about it and then put a calendar date to it.
I'm going to interrupt again, and I have one because something just really struck my nerve. I am listening to this other training over here in my other ear. Literally, I have earbuds in two meetings. And, I want to know, in your guys' opinion, at what point do we say, we're just gouging people with prices? There's a lot of coaches, consultants, and everyone's like, oh, the mindset, you got to get that $5,000 product to a $75,000 product. They're talking about it being the same program. At what point are you gouging people versus just saying, oh, I'm worth all this value, let me just charge the absolute top dollar that some poor sucker out there will pay? I feel like pricing programs and pricing what we're doing for clients, I don't know if that's value for everybody in the group, but I think there may be some value in packaging and pricing, because I feel like somewhere you have to have a moral compass that says this is a fair value for what I'm giving, versus how much will this person pay, or how much does my mindset believe that I'm $100,000 day, spend a day with me and I'll charge you $100,000. I mean, I don't know, really, is that my block, or am I wrong?
Well, I think
100%.
I do too. And I think it's both, because what I hear is those people only want a very few extremely high paying clients, and that's all they're going to deal with. So they're only going after the people that can afford that high ticket price, and probably most of us are not there. And even though we want to give, excellent service and all of that stuff, I think we do have a mindset block a little bit, going into that. But at the same time, I get, I don't want to be price gouging nobody. In fact, I've been doing just the opposite. I've been giving away the farm for 2 years now, and it's time that I get my mindset right for the value that we bring to anybody that shows up. And JP, I'll just ask you, since you're an innocent bystander here, and sometimes I do this with our visitors, have you found value in participating today?
Definitely, Nancy. I'm actually amazed with what I am hearing right now with what the tribe is contributing. But one thing I did notice, because I've been also dealing with a lot of consultants and business owners itself, when they are providing services, majority is providing a high ceiling cost. However, the demand for such consultants in terms of the value that they contribute is quite the opposite. So there is a big transition that I did notice, but it's not supported by any documents or facts that would say that the price is going down, but the kind of service that they provide is going up. So probably that's a good idea that Jessica mentioned earlier about maybe on your next meeting, you'd probably be discussing about further on that idea of the pricing itself.
Well, again, too, we might consider, when we're talking about our funnels, I know Laura Langmeyer, she's big on, going up that value ladder and, doing all those different price points. And again, it's going to be what industry we have today. We have quite a variety in here. Normally we're a little heavy on the health and wellness, but today we got quite a big, variety on here. But I'm I'm open for that. I think that's a great idea that we could discuss, Jessica.
I think it's a great idea too, Jessica. And, I hear that side of things as well. And sure, maybe if you're a business coach and as Nancy says, you only want to work with 3 people, you'll go after the highest. But my mission is to help people realize that they can have health span rather than lifespan if they start looking after their health today. So I want to reach more people, not less. What good is it if I help 3 people?
Yes.
Right. So I'm not at all motivated by only working with 3 people.
Yeah, and that's what I put in the chat is I am the Lord's servant, and I don't mention my faith very often, but I want to serve many with love, but I have a high value for myself too, because I feel he built me, but I feel like I have ways to serve people at a low price point and at a higher price point. And that's equal to how much time does it take? If I create a video and a training and a guide, why do I need to make that a $5,000 course? I don't. I made it once. I did the effort, click and buy it. I hope so many people enjoy that, and benefit from it. I don't know. There's got to be some line or some logic, I feel like. And I just feel like it's getting lost in all of these coaching programs, and everyone's spending, 10, 20, 30, and they're talking about $50,000 and $75,000 for programs. For me, I don't know that I'm going to see the value for that. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
What's the return on investment? The return on
Yeah.
investment, because that's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking, first of all, I don't understand how you got $50,000 just laying around that you can just,
Well,
that would really have to be something
we're
that's
investing it into the co-op programs and Claudio's programs and cryptocurrencies and stocks.
yes.
It's going to show if I have that money, that's where that's going. And I do have some of that money. I'm just not giving it to these fools.
Right.
And
Okay,
Kelly wants
so-
to share. She probably has some input on that money there.
Well, so we all need to make money. Of course, that's important. But money is just one form of energy exchange. When I was going through my list yesterday and looking at all the back end fees people are going to be paying me because of the size of the refund that I help them get, I never think about, well, this one's paying me a lot, and this one's paying me a smaller fee, and there is so much joy and satisfaction and reward and benefit from having personal relationships with people and showing them a way, to realize a dream come true, that honestly, it feels better than the money. But yes, we need the money. So all I want to say is that money is just one form of fulfillment. And so, like what you were saying, Jessica, yes, here, most of us, all of us, we're here to serve. We're the eagles. We're the ones lifting up the rest of mankind.
And that is true. That is true. Yes. We are heart-centered entrepreneurs. Everybody that's in this group is, and we want to make an impact on the world in a big way. Unlike others who that's not their vision. So that is something, perhaps. Let me do a screenshot right quick because I forgot to do that earlier. People left. Let's do a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
And I just want to add too that there's a high end price point and then there's the low end price point too, because I have an online course, 6 Steps to Better Sleep, that people can buy one time, $175, do the whole program with their family and literally learn how to solve their sleep issues. But no one buys it. And is it because the price point they see that is, well, it mustn't be worth it if it's only $175? I don't know, but that's another part of that discussion. Maybe it's they're not finding it. There's, but that's a piece of it, right? So there is that.
You said it's a family one?
Well, it can be done by the whole family. So,
Well, maybe that needs to be how you tweak that and promote that and divide that out to show the value that way over a lifetime or over 5 years. Because some people might be thinking that's too high.
Is it on sleep? Is it for sleep?
It's on sleep. And 70 million Americans struggle with sleep every single day. Right? And so it's all
Well,
the
I have an idea for you. There's probably groups on Facebook and LinkedIn that are around the concept of sleep and challenges with sleep. I
Mhm.
would find them, research them, and then reach out to the admin and the coordinator, the leader of the group, and offer to do an affiliate split with them to
Mm.
say, here, I have this free gift. And first you approach them with I love the community you built. What a beautiful thing you have here. And then you go into here's the value I could bring to your community. And here's the joint venture relationship I could bring with you to monetize and support and offer support to your group at the same time. If you're interested in that, let's have a one-on-one. And that's how you do the reach out. And I'm teaching a lot of my clients to do that. And our team is doing a lot of that research because that'll make movement happen. You just haven't made the right movement with that
Right.
product in the
Right.
right groups.
Right. Yeah. Awesome.
Sophia,
Thank you.
go ahead,
Thank you.
Sophia.
Oh, I just wanted to say, with the mindset issue about the money, it's really a perspective type of thing. As we, I think we know that we're heart centered and we want to give value, but at the same time, we want to be able to be paid. And I think we have to be able to get our mindset to where we feel that it's a more integrated and harmonious thing, a win-win for us and the customer. And so, the price itself, matters, but it doesn't matter when they're able to get the type of value that you want to be able to give them, and they're saying, I got this much value. And I think that that's a big part of it. When people get value, then they're willing to pay for that value because they see the value.
Thank you. Claudio.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, Balbir, I think you remember Colin Sprague, don't you? I think you've been to one of his seminars. So there's a gentleman out in BC, up here in Canada. His name is Colin Sprague, and he has a variety of different packages and programs that you can take. And he kind of had a system where he would start off by inviting people through Facebook ads, through giving out commissions to people, for as referrals, bringing everybody together into a 2-hour event. And he would give all this amazing information. And that event was free. From there, he would invite them to a 3-day business mastery. And from that, loaded with information. And from there, then he would sell his programs. And they varied anywhere from $1,500 to for a 1-year program to $20,000 for a 2-year program. And he even had one that was a 2-year program that was $100,000. Now that one was personal mentoring. He was a business coach and trainer. And that was, one-on-one every 2 weeks. And, he would spend a lot of hours with that person. So there's no harm in having a variety of programs that you offer as long as the value is there for each one. So by having the different levels, you can kind of evaluate, okay, this is what I'm going to get for this program, but I'm going to get this much more for this program. And I've been to one of his programs and they are phenomenal. And he's on the leadership, the Transformational Leadership Council. He was invited by Jack Canfield. He's been to Necker Island, so he's right up there with the Effies of the world. So he's very well known throughout the world.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Abdel, would you like to introduce yourself right quick? We have a visitor, JP, with us today.
My name is Abdel Bassi Cripps, and I guess I'll talk a little bit about what I do. I consider myself a technologist. I help people with all their technical needs. People come to me with saying, help Abby, my computer's gone nuts. And I give them a happy result. And I also have a focus on internet safety. So, giving cybersecurity for individuals and small business. And that's why the Legal Shield. And the shop.com is a complementary to both.
All right. Thank you very much. Anybody have any closing comments or anything that you'd like to share before we leave for the weekend?
Please register for my events. And I think there's a big one happening on Grand Connection today.
Yes,
No? Yes.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, and one of the events in the chats is Blaney's, and it's so I put Blaney's event in the chat as well.
All right. Well, everybody go ahead and make sure that you save the chat, and then I will be uploading it to the YouTube channel here in just a little bit. And Barry, I'll make sure that you get those links. All right. Y'all have a fabulous weekend. Thank you again for your participation. JP, thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you. Had a blast.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Nancy.
everyone.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Appreciate all your feedback.
Bye.
Have a great week.
Been a
Bye.
great
Bye.
session.
Have a great
Thank you,
day.
guys.